So I decided that I wanted to start how I got in a position to be able to buy a house and closed on July 2025, and how I went from 400 to 700. I'm going to do a detailed story from the beginning to end so that way people can fully understand the full experience of how to buy a house and how to fix your credit. All right, so let's go back to 2023. Okay, so I'm starting in 2023. So in 2023, I was denied in December for a mortgage. My credit score was a 480. I reached out to a lender that I found online, and the reason why I reached out to a lender before I reached out to a realtor is because I wanted to see if I had even qualified, because there was this realtor online basically saying that you would need a realtor to find the houses and you would need a lender to approve you. So my goal was to get approved before I got a realtor, because why am I speaking with a realtor if I'm not even approved? So I went to a lender to see if I can get approved. She denied me, and she told me that I had a 480 credit score. She told me that my credit score was obviously not where it needed to be, and that I needed to have at least a 580 for her to qualify me. Now, she did not give me full reasoning on why I was denied, so I was confused on that. Even when I asked, she told me basically that my debt to income was high, and I was trying to figure out like what part of my debt to income, like was it my car payment, because I had a $200 car payment. So I was trying to think like, was it my car payment? I knew nothing about credit, so everything that somebody telling you, oh, your debt to income is high, and not telling you what is causing it to be high, makes someone that didn't understand credit confused. That's just how I felt at the time. There wasn't enough information. All right, so time goes by, and I'm still trying to figure out how to fix my credit. And I remember she said my debt to income was high, so I decided in January 2024 to start disputing. So I went online, did some research, and found some dispute letters on Etsy or whatever. And I just disputed everything that was on my credit that did not belong to me, like old addresses, my name was spelled wrong on something that was supposedly mine. My name is spelled a certain way, they had it spelled another way. I was just getting everything removed that I can get removed without paying anything first. This was January 2024. So January 2024. All right, so then about February, I'm still just disputing. February 2024, I'm still disputing. Now remember, my credit is still 480. I'm seeing no change. The disputes are coming back accurate, so it's really not even working really. But then around like March of me staying consistent, because my mom kept telling me like, as long as you stay consistent, something will eventually come off. So I kept sending the dispute letters. Like I was sending them like every 28 days. Like I was not playing. I was writing out who I was sending, what I was sending, which ones, how many times I sent it. Basically for everything on my credit profile that I was trying to get all off. Okay. So by March, 2 or 3 things started to come off, and I was like, okay, let me see. It's starting to work. But it wasn't really rising my score. And at this time, I didn't know my score wasn't rising because my credit card was still really high. So, my utilization was still really high, and it was hindering me. All right, and that all plays into the debt to income, because why is your credit card so high? You need to get that down. Not knowing, because nobody has educated me on paying down my credit card yet. So I'm in March 2024. All right, so April, I'm still disputing. July, April, I'm skipping so many months. April, May, I'm disputing. July gets here, I'm feeling a little defeated, and I'm starting to get a little aggravated, because I'm like, my credit really not doing nothing, like maybe 20 points, and I've been working on this since January. So then I'm having a conversation with my mom, and I'm telling her like, I know you said disputed worked for you and it boosts your credit score, but disputing is not working for me. And I'm showing her everything that I have gotten off my credit and how long I've been doing it. And she told me maybe I should do some research on the companies and see like, am I using the right verbiage and stuff to get it off when I send it to Experian Equifax, because she have a whole packet from when she created her own dispute letters. So she's showing me the verbiage that she used compared to the verbiage that I use. And so I'm switching up my dispute letters now. I started sending a different style of dispute letter, and that one helped a little bit. So I ended up getting 1 or 2 things off with a different style of dispute letter that I was originally sending. So basically, yes, I was sending the same dispute letter from January till about July. It was basically like a basic one, basically saying like, this information is fine. I need my stuff to be verified, and maybe they were verifying for everything. Everything was getting verified every time. So from January 2024 to July 2024, nothing's really working for me. Maybe a 20-point increase. Credit card still high. Didn't know to pay it off. Really wasn't even worried about paying it off. And then in October, something hit me and was like, Okay, let's look deeper. So I started doing research, and the only research I found in October 2024 was people saying, do not pay off your debt. And I kept telling myself, like, why does everybody say don't pay off your debt? Like, they kept saying, oh, pay them to do this or pay them to do that. And I'm like, why would I pay somebody $300-$400 a month when I can just figure it out? But nobody was spilling the beans on actually how to pay off the debt or how to get your credit score. Like, people was talking in circles, so it was like irritating me. I'm like, nobody is talking. So I think I got on YouTube one time, and I had found this one video, and this man gave full detail. He was a lender. I can't remember his name, and I wish I could find him. He gave full detail on like how people view your credit as a lender, and that was the breakdown that I need. It was like how to view how your credit is viewed. And when I seen that video, I feel like it changed my mind. My mind was like, oh, so that's what they're looking at. Oh my goodness, let me pay down my credit card. So this is like October 2024. So I started paying down my credit card or whatever. And I think my limit at the time for my credit card was maybe like $500. And I had it at like $450 something. And it stayed at like $450 at the time. So I'm like, okay, let me pay that credit card down. Let me get it to a good amount. So I paid it all the way down, I think to like 30%. That's when I seen the impact on my score. Once I paid my credit card down to like 30%, like the next month, my score went up like 20 points. I was like, hold on. So keeping it under 30% is real. Okay. Keeping it under 30% is one of the gems. What else can I do? I like this. So me thinking that my score was going to be a little higher, I decided to apply in December. Rushing, moving too quick. In December 2024, I decided to apply for another mortgage. Now, mind you, December 2023, I was denied. I had a 480. December 2024, I was only like 540 or something like that. So the lady said, your credit score has increased, but you only have a 540. You need a 580 to qualify. And then I went on Facebook or whatever, and I had seen this post, and it was this one lender, somebody comments, and she was giving somebody really detailed advice. So I wrote her, and I was like, can we have a conversation? And she was like, yeah, what would you like to have a conversation about? And I told her, I said, I've been denied twice for a house, and this is December 2024. I said, I've been denied twice. Well, it really was more than twice, because I had tried in 2022 to buy a house, in 2023 like 2 times. So total, I had tried 5 times before actually getting approved. But in December 2024, I was like, I've been trying to buy a house for like the past 3 years, and I keep getting denied. They keep telling me like my credit, my DTI is too high, but nobody is telling me like what I need to do to fix it. So the lady put my credit or whatever. No, actually, she didn't put my credit. She went off, because I got a copy from the last lender who pulled it, and I sent it to her, and she gave me a full breakdown of the reason why my credit score looked the way it looked. Honey, she sat on the phone with me, and she basically said, okay, Nakaya, listen, you need to pay some debt off. And I was like, pay debt off? I said, everybody online say don't pay debt off. She said, you need to pay some debt off. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay it off. And she said, but don't pay it off all at once. And I said, okay, this is the older lady, by the way. She like, don't pay it off all at once, because if you pay too much at once, it might hinder your credit. So I'm like, remember, it's December 2024. So I'm like, it's Christmas time. I want to do other stuff. I want to buy my baby this. I want to do this. Because I'm the type of mama, like, I want to go all out for my baby for Christmas. But I'm like, I want to put us in a position. So we're going to have to just not get as much this year. So I did have some money saved. I decided to pay 2 really big debts off in December 2024. Y'all. By January 2024, my credit score boost to like 20-30 points in a month. That's how I knew paying off your debt worked. So I reached back out to her and I said, you're right. Paying off the debt worked. And so she was like, how much do you have left? Like, how much debt do you have left? Because I told her I was going to come up with my own plan on how I was going to pay off all my debt. And she was like, yeah, because at first, originally, she was telling me, like, pay some of my debt, like, pay 2 or 3 things, and then I would be able to qualify for a mortgage, and it'll probably put my credit where it need to be. But once I seen that credit score start going up, I was like, no, baby, we finna fix this credit all the way. So I decided to pay off 2 big things first. I spent $3,000 in December 2024. January, February to March, I spent about $6,000 in paying off debt. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have that type of money to pay off my debt. But the reason why I did that was because my credit score was terrible, because I had 22 collections. I had an apartment on there, 2 apartments on there. One of them was like $1,500. It was $3,000. They let me settle for $1,500. I had an apartment on there for $1,000 because when I had moved, I had a really major surgery in January 2024. So when I had moved out the apartment, I guess the people that moved me or whatever, they had forgot to get my TV mounts out because I wasn't able to like really